Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, aka the guy that's here to fill you in on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That was a bad one. The third episode of the final season has just dropped, and throughout this video we're going to be going over what happens in it and what our theories are for the future, or rather past. There will be heavy spoilers here, so if you haven't had a chance to check out the show yet, then I highly recommend that you turn off now. Please drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and make sure you subscribe for breakdowns on the season week by week. With that out of the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into our recap of episode 3. Okay, so episode 3 takes place in 1955. The agents are journeying to Area 51, aka a S.H.I.E.L.D. base, in order to stop the Chronicoms from destroying the group, and it leads to one of the funniest episodes ever. We open with a couple stargazing near Groom Lake, and it turns out they're on a lookout for a UFO, but get something much better: the Zephyr coming out of the time stream. Groom Lake is actually a real-world salt flat in Nevada that's used as a runway. Even today, it stands as part of the Area 51 installation and is approximately 11 miles wide. Don't worry guys, we got you when it comes to lake facts. Yeah, now coupled with this location is a brand new 50s inspired logo that has a hint of an Alien TV show due to the music that accompanies it. Right after this, we cut to the two surviving Chronicoms as they meet with the villain of this season, the Predictor. I don't know if that's their actual name, but that's what they're called, and it does sound comic booky enough, so yeah, we're gonna go with it. Lip service is given to a machine called Helios, which we learn in the episode is an ion fusion reactor. In the Marvel world, this may be a reference to either the character Helios, aka the father of Cersei from the Eternals, or the Olympian that was the son of the original Titans. On top of this, Helios was the god of the sun in ancient myths, and the name hints at what the machine is capable of. Back on the Zephyr, Mac and Daisy have a back and forth over the latter deciding to give an assassination order last week to Deke. If you watched our recap of episode 2, then you'll know that we found this quite jarring and out of character for Daisy, so I'm glad they pulled it up. It did seem like a stupid thing to do, as Daisy could potentially even stop herself from existing, or at the very least being part of S.H.I.E.L.D. She still seems adamant that she was doing the right thing, and it honestly seems like she's gonna be a bit of a problem on the missions, as everyone is sort of the same mindset except for her. It feels like we've kind of lost the Daisy we know and love, but she does get a moment to reference her old self, as when they mention Area 51 being a S.H.I.E.L.D. base, she talks about the conspiracies being right. Before joining S.H.I.E.L.D., she actually used to unearth classified information and would release it to the public as part of a group known as Rising Tide. Turns out she was right about everything, and yeah, I thought this line was a nice little callback to the good old days. They can't just stand around on the Zephyr forever though, and they journey out to a diner called the Flying Rocket. I couldn't find an actual location for this, but it may be a reference to the Area 51 Alien Center diner that currently exists out there. The group are here to get Gerald Sharp in order to use his ID, and throughout the episode they question him over what's going on in the base. Coulson and Simmons journey out there, with the latter going under the guise of none other than Agent Peggy Carter. In order to catch the Chronicom, they need to trigger an emotional response, and this leads to some of the funniest questioning I've ever seen. They diss John Wayne, ask how the word moist makes someone feel, and go through the scientists without finding the machine. To make things worse, Agent Sousa arrives on the scene, and you may remember him from Agents of Carter. Sousa was a love interest for Peggy, but as we know, she just couldn't get over that star-spangled man with a plan. It seems like Sousa couldn't get over her either, by that long gaze he has at the back of her head, and I'm sure that brings back memories, that the back of her head and all. Sousa discovers Simmons, and quickly the guise is dropped after she realizes who he is, and she gets arrested. Back on board the ship, May continues to act very strangely, adding more weight to the possibility that she's actually possessed by Izel. I can't believe that they haven't isolated her yet, as something is clearly going on with her, and she did die, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what developments there are with the character. Mac and Yo-Yo then start to interrogate Sharp, and they quickly realise he's got a black and white view of the world, and decide that they're going to have to use Deke to get the answers out of him. Is it because I is white? Yeah, probably not the best time to be doing them jokes. Anyway, Sharp doesn't give too much away, but he does slip on Helios and explains that it doesn't work because it can't pick up enough velocity. However, a Chronicom would be able to provide this, and it becomes clear they want to set off Helios like a bomb in order to destroy a vast majority of S.H.I.E.L.D. Daisy also explains her thinking behind ordering Deke to kill Freddy last week, and yeah, again, it just feels a bit stupid. Daisy might even be a Chronicom herself, like I'm not even kidding, well I am, but she just wants to help the machines complete their goal by the looks of it. I'm still not really feeling her character this season, as it just seems a bit jarring to me when compared with the other entries in the series. I know from the comments last week that people disagree with me, but yeah, it just doesn't seem like she's a good person to have on the mission if this is the way that she's going to operate. Anyway, she comes across a picture of Sousa and realises that there's going to be an issue on the base. At the location, Sousa goes after Coulson, who fanboys out a bit over him, and Daisy disguises herself as a CIA agent. I love that Sousa is already kind of aware of Hydra infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D., and this of course has been a big plot point in other seasons, and of course the Winter Soldier. The Chronicoms enact their plan, and May and Yo-Yo join Daisy on the base, disguised as pilots. They talk about female pilots, and I think that this may actually be a reference to Captain Marvel. Using 2 gas canisters, they throw them into the room to see who doesn't react, and I found this a bit ironic as May has been reacting very weirdly throughout the season. She didn't even react to seeing Coulson back, and though she does react when everything hits the fan, something is definitely up with her. Sousa takes Daisy to Coulson and Simmons and says that the latter had the worst fake accent he's ever heard. I know I'm probably looking into this too deeply, but this may actually be a nod to how Elizabeth Henstridge is from Sheffield, whereas Hayley Atwell is from London. It's just subtle differences, you know, one would only spot if you are from England, you'll see. Now they trick Sousa and lock him in their cell, and May has an adverse reaction to what's going on. Yo-Yo isn't much use either, and Helios activates. To make things worse, Sharp escapes his chair and stumbles into the ship, seeing all of the high-tech equipment firsthand. Mac knocks him out whilst the base goes into red alert, and Gemma realises that she can use the EMP that the scientist told her about, and the group go head-to-head with the Chronicoms at several locations on the base. It's a really good action scene that makes the final 15 minutes of this episode fly by, and I think it's probably been the best one this season. Sousa escapes his cell and joins them in the fight, seeing firsthand the Chronicom in action. Simmons manages to use the EMP, which shuts down the Chronicoms, but it also takes Coulson down with them too. Now you may have seen the Simmons' and LMD fan theories floating around online, and we even talked about them last week. I did say that I didn't think Simmons was one, and her using an EMP and it disabling the Chronicoms, to me at least, does cement that she is still indeed the real Simmons. We don't see what happens to her, and she isn't really in the preview for next week, so discuss that all below, but I am leaning more towards the conspiracy theories being wrong. Coulson starts to reboot, or he shuts down even further, but I would lean more towards the former. In the end, Stinger, Mac and Deke convince Sharp that he was part of an alien abduction and says that he has to keep what's gone on a secret. He doesn't, but everyone thinks he's crazy anyway, so the timeline is preserved. He runs into the diner from the beginning of the episode and starts spouting off about alien commies from the future, and this is where the episode title comes from. That closes out this entry, and for the rest of the video, I will be discussing the trailer for next week, so if you don't want anything ruined, then now's your time to turn off. I had a comment on the last video saying not to jump right into discussing the following episode, so my bad, and yeah, this is your chance to check out. If you're still here, then it seems like Coulson ended up going back online, and we are getting a full black and white episode. Coulson's eye did turn black and white just before he rebooted, so it is possible that this is the reason why we're seeing the show this way. In it, the group discussed the day that Agent Sousa was murdered, and they decide instead to save him. Now, in order to stop the timeline from being messed up anymore, they would instead need to take him out of it on the day that he was supposed to have died. This may end up involving swapping out his real body with an LMD and placing this at the crime scene. Sousa could then travel through time with the agents, and we may sort of get a reverse Captain America motif. Cap of course went back in time to live out the life he never had with Peggy, so who knows, Sousa could end up going to the future to live out the life that he should have got with Skye. I don't know why I keep shipping Daisy and Sousa, but yeah, let the man have some happiness please. Anyway, I think that this was the strongest episode of the season, and I'm really enjoying this final run through time. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the third episode, so make sure you comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, then please drop a thumbs up, and if you missed our analysis of the second episode, then make sure you check it out after this. If you want to support the channel from as little as 99 cents a month, then please click the join button below. We massively appreciate it, and as a thank you get access to content early. If you want to come chat to us after the show, either follow us at Heavy Spoilers, or click the Discord link in the description below. Every month we give away free movies to people who are subscribed to the channel, and this month you can win the Marvel Phase 3 Part 2 box set, and all you have to do is comment on a video and make sure you subscribe with notifications on. The more videos you comment on, the more you have a chance of winning, so make sure you get involved. The winner is going to be chosen at random on the 15th of June, and the set will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part.